Ayo. We are in Fantastic Tutor, and into this tutorial, it's going to be a continuation on the course EDU233. We apologize for coming this late. It's been a struggle with the network from the back end, but here we are. At least we can do something. This being said, let's hop straight into it. So we have Edu 233. Edu 233. We're talking about class management. Today's class should make it the last familiarizations class we're having on the course. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, as an effective classroom manager, okay, you are expected, all right, you should be well prepared, all right, for lessons, anticipate difficulties, and react immediately before problem escalate and exceed with verbal depth. All right. Next. Now, what we are saying is that talking about the class management. All right. Solely the responsibility of the tutor, of the teacher. All right. As a teacher, as a tutor and instructor of a particular class, okay, you are expected. All right. Class manager, MG, class manager, you're expected to be what? Well, as a tutor, as an instructor of your class, you are expected, all right, to be well prepared for lessons. Well prepared for lessons, all right, anticipate, all right, any issues, all right, anticipate any issue, all right, and ensure Miss Peace Queen, good evening, and ensure they are resolved. Okay, class manager, there's no other thing. If you can implement all these things, then indeed your class will be organized and it won't be disrupted. All right, so we have that. Now let's continue. As we have spoken about that, now let's also look at some other things you need to put. All right, you need to ensure in order to manage your class properly. All right, to manage your class properly. Now, as a class manager, in order to manage your class effectively, all right, you need to have a regular report, all right? And basically, report here, it's not as if you wish hunting the students or something. Report here is an evaluation, a daily evaluation of your class, all right? Student A today is quite happy, all right, and he responded to classes well, unlike on Tuesday when he was moody and he did not do so well in the class. The assignment I gave, he did not even do so well. All right, you are evaluating everything happening per day, so it can help you prepare for the next class or for the next day. All right, help you improve as a class manager. Let's not forget when we say to be anticipate, you can't anticipate anything if you're not evaluating properly. Now, so according to Rag and Dolly, all right, according to Rag and Dolly in 1984, They made mention of 5 things. They made mention of 5 things that that are the main areas, all right? The main areas of what should be in a class manager's report. Now, the likes of the establishment of good personal relationship with the student, effective preparation for lessons, organizing materials, specific, all right, pedagogic skills, all right, personal characteristics of the teachers. All right, so let's take that down. We have number one, we have we have the effective establishing good relationship. All right, it is very, very important. Good relationship to evaluate the effectiveness of your class. As the manager, you need to establish what is called good relationship with your students. Okay, we have just a moment. So we have good relationship. I think I should have another shade marker. We have establish good relationship with who? The students. All right. Also, effective preparation. All right. Well prepared lesson notes. Okay. Organized materials. All right, like the textbook, like their textbook, whatever it is, the materials used in studying. All right, ensure that they are organized properly. Materials. Okay, and we have specific pedagogic. All right, specific. All right, we have pedagogic. All right, pedagogic skill. Now, when we say pedagogic, we are simply talking about the skills that involves the capacity to plan. All right, plan, to use your initiative, to lead, develop, and educate. All right, so these skills involve the skill of planning, leading, all right, educating, all right, and also use of one's initiative. All these are pedagogic skills. All right, and we have personal characteristics. Okay, personal characteristics. Characteristics. Excuse me. Okay, now we have that as that. Now let's continue as we look at some points. Now the teacher's professional competence also will involve his management. All right, will influence class management. All right, teacher's competence. All right, teacher's competence influence. All right, class, let me just use class CM, class management. The teacher's competence. How good is he at what he does? All right, his competence. His competence will also influence. Okay, so speaking of his competence, all right, let's look at some points. Speaking of his competence, All right. Now, under the topic, we will get to know the following. Speaking of the teacher's competence now, knowledge of the learner's characteristic. Let's just say know your students. All right. When you have, as a teacher, as an instructor, if you have a proper knowledge of who your students are, all right, it will help you determine the kind of method and approach to communicate with them. All right. Are we together? This is what we are talking about. Proper management. During this process, you observe, all right, you evaluate. So you want to know, okay, if I handle this student like this, or this student like this, what is the result that I'm going to achieve? What if I try it this way? All right. So you need to understand the characteristics of the students you are taking. All right. You also need to be a master. All right. Master or mastery of subject matter. Mastery of subject matter. All right. You need to master the subject matter. All right. Be good at what you do. Also, you need to what? Effective communication. All right. Effective communication. And also, we have good rapport. You need to create good rapport. All right. Good. All right. Rapport. All right. Good rapport. Okay, that's good rapport. There's an R here. Good rapport. All right. Good rapport with the students. Now, also teachers' personality. What is your personality? All right. Teachers' personality. All right. Personality. Okay. All this has a long way to go about how competent you are as the instructor or as a teacher. All right. So according to the material, all these points were properly dissected. So I'm just going to walk us through them very quickly. Okay. So now, when we say the knowledge of your learner's characteristics, all right, know your students. All right, that's quite self-explanatory. Now, learner's characteristics will include the age, the attitude, their social economic background. All right, as a teacher who might have gone, all right, as an instructor who might have gone far and wide, all right, there's some approach you will apply in some institution, it will work perfectly and you'll achieve the end result. And there are some approaches you will apply in some school, it will be a total failure. All right, it could be as a result of the student's attitude towards studying. So you need to understand that. You need to understand the student's social economic background. All right. This social economic background also has a way of influencing how a child behaves. All right. You also need to understand their level of knowledge, all right, and interest. Okay. If you are this kind of child that you just come into the classroom, you just talk, you don't draw examples from what they can relate with, you just speak above that. It might not really be fun, it might not really learn. So all these things you need to know, all right, and put into consideration, knowing your learner characteristics. Okay, so we have that as that. Also, we have what is called the mastery of the subject matter. All right, the mastery of the subject matter. This is simply talking about all right, prepare. An ill-prepared teacher will not only make an embarrassment of himself, all right, when you as an instructor, you are ill-prepared, right? You are not well prepared. You will not only embarrass yourself as a teacher, but also lose self-respect, all right? The mastery of the subject now. So you have to prepare well, know what you are doing, know what you are teaching. So that if any question is being thrown at you, nobody knows everything, but at least you should be able to say something. All right. So an ill-prepared teacher will only, okay, we've talked about this. So now we have number 2. An ill-prepared teacher will not only make a mess of himself, an embarrassment, but also lose his self um, respect. Okay, now students often, all right, look onto the teacher as an authority, all right, in the subject matter it teaches. All right, so you don't want to bring yourself that low to the extent that you begin to say what is not. All right, because you are seen as an authority, so you need to be up to that standard. All right, you need to act up to that standard. All right, now a good teacher should prepare very well and know far more than he intends to cover. All right, teachers are expected to do what we call intensive and extensive study, all right, before appearing, all right, before their students. So we have covered that. Now let's move on. Now we have effective communication ability. All right, effective communication ability. Now, when we say